Oh, did you catch it? Oh my goodness, if you'd have caught it in class, you'd have gotten 2 bonus points. Uh, I had a typo on Mr. Goodbuddy. Instead of a minus here, I accidentally put a plus. Oops. Um, yeah, that was bad. So let's go and fix this before we move on. This should have been 0, and this does not exist. And when you get 0 over 0, this is undetermined. Undetermined. It's really not undefined. This is really undetermined. But unfortunately, a lot of programs call it undefined, which is a lie. But does not exist is true. And when you get in Cal 1, you're going to be able to use what's called L'Hopital's rule, and you'll be able to find an answer here when you get 0 over 0. So you'll be able to do that at some point. Anyways, that's probably more information than you wanted to know. Just saying. So let me work this one. This gives us we can actually find an answer on this one. That one is 1. But now, if you get 0 over stuff, as long as stuff isn't 0, the answer is 0. Now, composition. Composition of functions is putting one equation inside of another equation. They do that a lot with chemistry and physics and stuff. So, like, I really don't like this equation. Bleh. I like this equation. Okay? And then Kelvin is your Celsius plus 273. So if I put this equation here, then Kelvin is Fahrenheit minus 32 divided by 1.8, and then you would add 273. So that would be your Kelvin equation, starting with Fahrenheit. So that's basically all composition of functions is replacing one equation with a different equation, or putting it inside of another equation. So the first letter is your outside equation. The second letter is your inside equation. So if I say f is x squared, g is x plus 4, and I say find f of g. Well, I could say, instead of saying f of g this way, I could say find f of g of x. Or instead of saying it that way, I could say replace f of g, or g of x, replace the g of x with x plus 4. And we've kind of done the baby stepped you into this earlier in chapter 3. And we kind of did it a little bit also in chapter 1. So we've baby stepped you into this previously. We just really didn't tell you we were doing this. So what we do is the outside function is this. So where x is, instead of putting x, we're going to put a big parenthesis, and then we're going to put the rest of f. Okay? So where x is, we're putting a parenthesis, and then we're going to put the rest of f. And then we're going to replace the x with what's inside this. And it should accept this. If not, then it wants you to simplify this by foiling. But it should accept this. Now, g of f of x. So g with f inside of it. And f is x squared. And it's easier to do the equation part of it before doing the number parts. Now we start with g, the outside function. Okay. Woo! Hello? Hey, you okay? Uh-huh. Can I call you back real quick? I'm in the middle of making a video. Yeah. All right. Bye-bye. Okay, so now I replace the parenthesis with what f is. And in this case, the parentheses really, here, the parentheses did something because there's a square on the outside. In this case right here, the parenthesis doesn't do anything. So I could just go ahead and get rid of it. Now, for part C, I put 3. Oh, whoops. I thought I chose. I put 3 into this equation. So 3 plus 4 and square it. So that gives me 7 squared. That's not that. Let me not tell you what it isn't. Let me tell you what it is. It's 7 times itself. So 7 times 7, which is 49. I don't want to tell you what it isn't because then it'll get it stuck in your head. And then that'll get you all messed up. Now, put 3 into this equation. So 3 squared, 3 times 3, and then plus 4. So 9 plus 4 gives you 13. Okay? Now, on this page, believe it or not, it looks really, really scary because there's a whole lot of words and a whole lot of equations. But it really ain't all that. Okay? I promise, it really isn't that bad. How many DVDs you sell is X. The number of DVDs is X. The selling price is this. Your fixed cost every day is 230. The variable cost is 2x. Okay. Revenue. All right. The product means multiply, is the number of DVDs sold and the selling price. So N of X times P of X. Number of DVDs sold times the selling price. So that's going to be these two multiplied. Product is times. So you take X times 7.5 minus 0.05 X. You can simplify it, and I would, by distributing. So 7.5x minus 0.05 x squared. It looks scary, but it ain't. The sum means add, plus. Your fixed and your variable costs. So you add these two. So 2x plus 230. Now this is probably the worst part of it. Difference between revenue and cost. So that's minus. So your revenue minus cost. So it's this one minus each piece here. So 7.5x minus 0.05 x squared minus 2x, and I'm going to stagger that, minus 230. Notice I combined my two like pieces. And I'm going to put it not alphabetical, in descending order. So highest degree down to lowest degree. So negative 0.05 x squared. 7.5 minus 2 is positive 5.5 x and minus 230. So all I did was put them in order and combine these two. And then average cost. Average cost is take this 2x plus 230 and put it over x. So the hardest one is this one. And page last, believe it or not, is actually pretty easy. Okay? When given a formula, use it. You've got two formulas right here. This one and that one. R is your resting heart rate. M is your maximum heart rate. X is your age. So M, maximum heart rate. X is your age. This is the easiest formula ever. 220 minus your age. Part A is rewrite your formula. 220 minus X. Easiest thing ever. Now, part B, it says age is 30. So 220 minus 30, 220 minus 30 is 190. Now, all you do, now it tells you R, resting heart rate, R, is 62, M is 190. So what you do is R is 62, M is 190. R again is